All right, my beloved. Astrological Info Stream 101. How to read a loaded house. Okay, so we know if you read astrology, you put your birth chart on the Galdarn app on the internet, you put your birth time, your birth date, you get it to pop out the chart, right? The chart is the astrological deities that we call the orbitals, right? The basic orbitals, and how they reflect their intelligence off the individual, because we're a sum of those intelligences, right? Which make the mind power we have. So, that being said, those celestial bodies play into our experiences in the future, how we interpret experiences, how we interact with the world, what our mind frame is going to be, and how the interworkings of what the spirit of the mind, I don't want to call it a spirit because it's not a spirit. It's that energetic factor that's able to keep and maintain a certain state, right? Whether it's positive, neutral, oriented toward this or that, whether it's developmental or actional, right? Bottom line, how to read that specifically. We'll call it a full house chart. We'll say in your sign, you have however many. For me, in my sign, I was born in the hour of the moon, right? On the half hour of the moon's hour, right? So my mind is going to be kind of like the moon. It'll change a little bit. And it'll actually follow the lunar cycle. So my mind can change and can be refreshed. If you are an individual with the moon sign as the first planet, or orbital, however you want to look at it, because the moon I don't think really moves much. I think we move, like, because you always see the same side of the moon. Anyways, that being said, that being the first sign, that's probably going to be your main mind frame, right? For me, the second sign in my astrology sign, because I have a full house, is the sun, right? So your first frame of mind is going to be the moon. The next attribute is going to be the sun. Say we're thinking about a topic. Let's break this down. We're thinking about a specific topic, and we're trying to extrapolate meaning and how to interact with something, or synthesize a new concept to interact with something. Say, I want to flip something around on something, it's a situation, I want to get a better out of it, but I still have to engage. The mindset that allows those things is these things in your house. Depending where they are, your main mind is going to be coagulated. If they're in your sign, so mine's a Leo, and I have the moon, the sun, Mars, and then Mercury, and they're very close. So if I sit and think about something, I can disassemble it, reassemble it, like an engineer, break it down to its skeletal parts, and see what's really necessary. Evaluative thinking at a certain level. But it takes a while. My first reaction is going to be like the moon. I'm going to make an opinion, and unless I need to utilize that opinion to do something practical, I'm not going to think more about it. But if I think more about it, I can shed a lot of light on it. So that's the sun sign, right? We're breaking it down, right? And then Mars, I can use the information I know and utilize it against to get an effect, right? To create an initiative, right? If I stand and dwell long enough before making it, if I don't act on the initiative, right, and repose and think long enough, I make it into Mercury. It's like a 5-hour process on major, because reminding you, this only works if you have a loaded sign and you start with whatever sign you were born on the hour. That's the mind you're going to have to initiate with. And how it works is you can make it through that loaded sign. So in that several hour process from the mind you start with, right? Because we're believing those intelligences work on us, even periodically throughout the day, through the hours that they trepidate, right? And the time that these things pass in the heavens. There's a Saturn hour, there's a Mercury hour, there's a Moon hour, there's a Sun hour, right? There's a Jupiter hour, right? All the major things that affect our intelligence. When you read in a loaded chart, a full house sign, your mind, when you get onto a topic, passes through those main intelligences. So it's actually really good to have a loaded chart in that area. That doesn't mean that you don't have those intelligences, but they typically aren't as snappy. You have to look at things differently. You'll have to play to your strengths. That's what all astrology is how do I play and apply these things to my strengths. You'll have a great rest of your day, beloved. Chew on that.